An FBI agent takes the stand for the prosecution in the federal trial over staged car crashes in New Orleans.
Gabby Kellett joins us live at federal court, where prosecutors say the staged crashes increased insurance rates statewide.
Well, John, Meg, in court, Hollywood stunt woman turned injury lawyer Vanessa Moda's defense attorney said Moda brought Cornelius Garrison, a murdered witness in the alleged staged car crash scheme, to local attorney Brad Eggenberg. But Eggenberg never got to represent Garrison after Garrison was served a subpoena in a separate civil case. Now, prosecutors say Garrison was murdered after cooperating with the FBI in connection with the alleged staged wreck scheme. Prosecutors have said Moda told Garrison Eggenberg knew about the, quote, construction. The feds say construction was code for the alleged car crash scheme. Moda's attorney denied that allegation. And earlier this morning, an FBI agent accused Giles of mounting, that's Jason Giles, injury attorney on trial, of mounting his defense in a recording that Giles allegedly handed over to authorities during their investigation into this staged wreck scheme.
Federal investigators accuse injury attorney Jason Giles, Hollywood stuntwoman turned lawyer Vanessa Moda, the firms they worked for, and alleged co-conspirator Dominique Stalbert of fraud-related charges. They're on trial in connection with a scheme to stage wrecks across New Orleans for years. The alleged scheme employed so-called slammers who would crash into 18-wheelers for kickbacks and big insurance payouts. Tuesday morning in federal court, the government played a recording they say Giles handed over to them after some of his alleged co-conspirators got indicted. On tape, Giles spoke with an alleged slammer in the scheme and denied ever knowing about staged wrecks, saying, quote, "I'm going to lose my law license because they say I knew something was fraud. I didn't." An FBI agent testifies the recording was a way for Giles to mount his defense. Also on the recording, Giles calls slammer Damian LeBeau, who testified at trial last week, multiple expletives. Giles said, quote, "He's a liar with this just path of destruction, cares about no one, puts people's lives at risk, and you think that this office would be a part of that because he said so?" LeBeau maintained during his testimony that Giles knew he had been staging wrecks all along.
Now, the trial has entered its third week. Our legal analyst says it could last the entire month of March. Reporting live from federal court, Gabby Kellett, Fox 8, Local First.